Hello and welcome to the final round of the AOR Formula Renault 2.0 series here at Road Atlanta. And we have two races in for you today. And I am Sam Fitzpatrick, and alongside me is Alex Simpson. And we are looking forward to this final round of the season, as I before mentioned. And of course, Alex, unfortunately, no Rene Osterkamp today. He is the championship winner, we've heard, and he's just been so good this season. I think I saw a stat. I think he's got 8 consecutive podiums or something. Just been relentless, and he fully deserves that title, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad season, was it at all? Yeah, absolutely smashed it, really. Yeah, and wraps up the title with a race to go as well. I'm a little disappointed he hasn't turned up for the last race, just to sort of go, yeah, thanks, and cruise around and enjoy without having any pressure and just having a bit of fun out there. But hey ho, when you win it by that much, you can indeed take the last race off, and he's done that indeed. But yeah, good to be here. Looking forward to this one. Still a fair bit going on, I believe, in the championship. Still places to be had and gained. So this will still be a good race, I'm sure. Road Atlanta, fantastic circuit, brilliant sort of contrast. You've got the super high speed section at the back, the second half of the track, where the cars just need to be absolutely trimmed out as much as you can possibly get. And then you've got the fast flowing first sector as well, where you need a little bit more downforce and you need to have a car that's got good stability, works over the curbs, so it'd be a little bit softer and things like that. So it's quite a compromise for the engineers to set this car up around here. It'll be interesting to see which way some of the drivers go. I dare say we'll see some quite big contrasts out there, and that'll make for some really, really great racing. Yeah, looking forward to it. The reverse grid race will be fantastic as well, because I think everything will be pretty much decided then. So it's going to be hell for leather for a win, I think, for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Just on your point of the championship, of course, Rene Osterkamp leading the way, 421 points, as Alex said. Not a bad season for the German. And then second place is his teammate, 310 points for Patrick Kessler. And then in third is Phil Reed, followed by Charlie Summers, Jean-Francois Godin in fifth, and then Christian Takacs in sixth, Lubomir Moric in seventh, and Kerry Nolden in 8th position. Still potential for that to change around. Of course, we saw a brilliant round for Phil Reed last time out, and that Montreal round, X, that was quite something, because we had drivers, fighting for podiums after starting outside the top 25, and it was absolute anarchy. But I'd say it was a brilliant round, and in the end, we had some winners like Phil Reed, a second and a third, and then we had Patrick Kessler, who seemed really quick on the day. He couldn't get a top 10, so it was a really strange meeting, I thought.
It was a strange meeting. It was a good meeting. It's nice to have those every now and again, as long as you're not the person that has the absolute shocking meeting. So trust me, I know all about that after last night's BSRTC. I mean, the worst meeting of my life. So yeah, I think those that have the good ones to come out of those really pumped for the next race as well. So it should be good. It's good for Reed. I mean, obviously it jumped him up into third spot, so Summers will want to try and get that. Godin also being on good form as well. So it really is a fight between those three, I think, in this race meeting. Who's going to come out third overall? I think Kessler, he's just got to do his thing, and he should be able to maintain that second spot. It's got like 40 points there, near enough. So I think he should be good to hold on to that. But that battle for third is the one that I'm going to be closely watching, I feel.
Yeah, and it could be first blood to Jean-Francois Godin, because he is currently on the front row of the grid. Some 800ths of a second of Kerry Nolden. Usually, as long as Osterkamp isn't around, it's usually very close in qualifying, as we've seen for the past few rounds. I think Montreal, the top 8 was separated by 3.5 tenths, and it's looking close again out there. Manuel Hoyer, good to see him back in third, and then Phil Reed in fourth. Just looking at other drivers, Patrick Kessler in 6th currently, so Dove going well in 8th. Scott Newton currently down in 12th. He'll be hoping to improve on that. And we've also got Johan Hart back as well, who I think won a round last week. And he's a very quick driver, as we know. But of course, you've already mentioned how this is going to be an interesting circuit with getting the setup right, but we can. It is a circuit where we often see large groups of drivers. The slipstream effect down that back straight in particular is very strong, and you kind of got half the lap really from kind of the end of the uphill section all the way round to kind of turn one, where you've only got a couple of braking zones, and you can, you know, close right up on the car ahead.
Yeah, I think yeah, like you say, the two critical places in that into that chicane, and then perhaps into the coming out of the sort of like the first half of the lap as well. There's an opportunity into that right hander there, but usually people don't go for that because they're just sort of shaping themselves up for the back straight. Gordon didn't go any quicker on that lap. Good time, but it was 600ths of a second slower, and that's it. Session has expired.
Yeah, so he should be able to take you through the grid, and it is Kerry Nolden. I think that's his first pole position of the season, so well done to him.
Oh,
then...
I don't think so. I think he got one already this season.
Oh, really? Okay. Not too many, then, is my point.
No.
He leads
Spa,
the way,
I think.
followed by, I think it was, Jean-Francois Godin in second, then Manuel Hoyer in third, Phil Reed in fourth, Christian Takak starts in fifth, and that's Patrick Kessler, Evan Imre, Sarah Dove, Daniel Morris, Alexei Sorokin, Jay Mojak, Scott Newton in 12th, Bruno Domita, I think he's a new driver to the league, so I could see him up there. Lubomir Maric down in 14th, he'll be a bit disappointed with that. Then it's Glenn Key, Alistair Hay, Erkan Lindstrom, Tom Van Humen, I am Keeman, Robert Plumley, David Butler, Joseph Ringrose, Johan Hart. And then it's Connor Ryan and Marvin Sluman rounding out the field. And we should have a 40-minute race out there for you, and it should be a very good one. Super competitive out in front. And Giles just getting onto the grid now. Got about 30 more seconds to go. And anyone that really captures your eye, do you think Godin is going to be able to keep up his recent form? Because in the past couple of rounds, he maybe has just had a small drop off, but in the second half of the season, he's been super quick, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has done very quick. So I think he'll definitely give Kerry run for his money. Hoyer doing well. Reed obviously showing really good form of late. Kessler down in 6th. He'll maybe want to come forwards. Not seeing Summers. Where's he? So that battle for third, perhaps that's not going to happen.
Yeah, should still be good though between
it's unusual,
the other drivers.
I just wanted to point out before we go green, Sarah, great qualifying, 8th place, awesome job.
Yeah, absolutely. And the engines will rise now. And away we go. Oh, it's not a brilliant start for Nolden off the line. Godin's going to trouble him going into turn one. It's kind of just 2 by 2 just behind. Kessler's already got past Takacs. But Nolden hanging on down the inside against Godin. It's side by side just behind Hoyer and Reed. But Nolden, the start that he wanted. And they're still side by side between second and third, but just holding out, I think, is Reed in the end. But a pretty clean start, seemingly.
Yeah, no issues as far as I can tell there on the start. Everyone through safely. Sluman hasn't taken to the track at all, so there's that's gone on, but that's about it. But Reed and Hoyer, they are literally battling it out for the first half of this lap, and it looks like Reed just has got the advantage now.
Yeah, we just about managed to win that battle. Still pretty close between Godin and Nolden. Closing ever so slightly going into the final chicane, but of course a move doesn't really need to be made in these Osages. This is where the action is happening. Like Johan Hart further down the field than maybe we'd expect him. And,
well, 5 into 1 doesn't go apparently. I think that was kind of inevitable there, unfortunately. That was unfortunate. I'm not sure who that was. Was it Keenman? Possibly who got caught up there. I think it was Keenman who actually got turned there, so that's unfortunate. And now a problem for Bruno too. He's wide in turn 1. What's gone on here? Let's see if we can't get that back on replay. That's Rob Plumley. Here we go. He's just going to drive off the track on his own. Well, it was sort of a car on the inside, but yeah.
Yeah, kind of just misjudged the car on the inside, didn't he? And that was his downfall, seemingly. Still relatively close between Nolden and Godin, but might just be worth saving a little bit of fuel. I guess they kind of know how far they need to go, but I guess an extra lap or so before their first pit stop will be useful. And I think Kessler's just got past Hoyer, actually. So Kessler's up into P5 now, and Hoyer's actually dropping quite far down, according to my timing screen, at least.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that's why he's low on the inside.
Got to be a slowdown penalty, I think, there. That's a shame. Not what we wanted. He was in a good, strong position, but now he's right in the thick of it, just behind Sorokin and Newton.
Yeah, fell to 11th there when he was in P4 before, or P3, I think. So terrible for Hoyer, but it is so easy to pick up a slowdown in that part of the circuit. And is he just going past Alexei Sorokin? Those two are both PSR, so was not going to make that too difficult for him. And Hoyer can move on to Scott Newton next, who's up 3 positions. Not too many other big gainers. Actually, Johan Hart is up 9 positions, but you kind of expect that because he is a quick driver. And Newton following now, and Hoyer and Sorokin pretty close. And is Newton going for a move here?
Yeah, gone and succeeded, and he might even get Zara at the same time. Late on the brakes for Newton, 2 in 1. Just got an absolutely tremendous run. We were looking back at the start of that shot just to see if we could see the likes of Hoyer and that behind. But all of a sudden, he's just pulling away and got some absolute great slingshot on the 2 drivers ahead.
Yeah, Newton has really gained a reputation this season for being slightly off in qualifying, but in the race he is electric and up 5 positions already. Awesome start for Scott Newton, and he will be setting his eyes now on Evan Imre, who's having a terrific race up there, up in P6. I think this must be his best race of the season so far, I'd say, or his most impressive performance at least. And Takak has got past Reed, so I wonder what's happened to Reed there. What do you think? That may have been a slowdown, seemingly? Yeah.
I don't think it was a slowdown. I think actually it was. I think he went off slightly. So just seeing a replay of it on screen, we went back a bit far. Sorry about that. But for the next one, I think he's just gone off. Let's have a look. Yeah, exactly that. Wide and turn one. He got lucky there. Could have easily been into the barrier. But yeah, recovers and
make another mistake then, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Or maybe it's a slowdown.
I don't think it would have been a slowdown from here. You're right. I think he's going to make. I think he's going to make another one coming out here. Hey.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know how you'd get a slowdown for that.
No, me neither.
He's really gained some time going 10 meters off the circuit. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Well, yeah, like you said, he was a little bit lucky because it's one of the most common mistakes, I'd say, certainly for rookies. And Phil Reed isn't one, but getting onto that outside curve is absolutely lethal, whatever car you're driving. And yeah, he was a little bit lucky there. Now watching Manuel Hoyer looking close at Sarah Dove, and Scott Newton's just made up another position, up 6 positions from his start, and looking awesome for Newton currently. But Hoyer will be lining this one up as his run is pretty good. Wonder if Dove maybe is running a little bit more downforce because Newton made mincemeat of her last time. And closing will Manuel Hoyer. This is surely going to happen at some point. And he goes to the outside. We'll have the inside for the next bit. Newton's side by side just ahead. And I think Dove is going to lose out on this one. I think Newton's hanging on against Imre. Imre might be able to come back, but Dove there just losing out to Hoyer. Yeah, still side by side.
Good little battle there. The AOR red driver comes out on top, Evan Imre, but I get the feeling he's probably not seen the last of Scott here.
Yeah, the problem for both of them now is that Manuel Hoyer is right onto the tail. So I wonder if he'll do the Scott Newton trick and use a bit of a slingshot. Wasn't a good run through that first part of the S's, but of course, single file through here. Even in multi-class, when you got big pace differences, no way of getting through there. And Newton really close. He's just got to line this one up. Can he get the run out of this next corner? Oh,
well, that's going to help.
That's not going to help Newton.
I'm not sure that is going to help at all. Yeah, exactly. It's going to end up being Imre who's going to get the run.
And wait, watch out for Hoyer. Here he comes in the slipstream of the pair of them now, and he's got to pick which way to go. The track's not too wide here. Is he going to make it 3 wide? Going into the chicane, just hanging back a little bit is Hoyer, and he should get one. He's going to get Imre. He was very conservative on the brakes, and I guess that's worked out pretty well for Manuel Hoyer there. Already picked off one of them.
Yeah, I think that was a good call actually. I think he could have had a run, maybe Newton, but I just think it'd have been a bit of a pressure move that could have ended up going to tears there. So decided to leave it. So, but Imre, I mean, I'm surprised he lost so much momentum. I thought he would have ducked back in behind Scott, but just didn't get the opportunity.
I think Sardov just lost another position to Johan Hart. So we've got a couple of quick drivers here out of position. Manuel Hoyer and Johan Hart. Hart now up 14 positions, and haven't paid too much attention to him. But Newton's already having to go defensive against Hoyer, and this is working well for the drivers behind because we've got quite a queue here. Just dropping back a little bit there is Hoyer. Not quite getting close enough on the exit, and Hart is going to have a run on Imre as well. And side by side now, and 2 by 2 they come, and Newton wants to defend against this one, so he's got the outside for now. He's going to have the inside for the chicane. Is he going to be brave enough on the brakes? No, he just slots in behind. That's probably the smart decision, and Hart managed to get Imre, so Hart is going to be right on the back of Newton any second now, and he is.
Got a hell of a run there actually. I'm not really sure what happened to Scott. I wouldn't have thought he'd been under so much pressure so quickly.
Easily
but just straight through, no messing around. Half looking very, very confident out there, and I feel like he's going to make light work of the drivers ahead of him as well. Let's just see what's he got. He's got if he gets by Hoyer, he's got 3.2 seconds to make up on Patrick Kessler. This kind of rate, I don't know actually. Last time by was very similar sort of lap times. So.
Yeah, the ever reliable Patrick Kessler currently running in 5th place. He's kind of got used to that kind of position throughout this season, kind of always running 4th, 5th, 6th. Rarely the fastest driver out there, certainly kind of been, in terms of pace at least, outshone by his teammate this season. But he has picked up a couple of wins, and one win back in Okayama's first race we covered. But here comes Johan Hart, and he gets to the inside of Hoyer, and Hoyer, if anything, was a little bit conservative there, didn't want to fight that one, and maybe feels like he can now slip him behind Hart, and they can both catch up to Kessler up ahead.
Yeah, Hart definitely got the pace, I feel, to drag on Hoyer a little bit, so maybe sensible. Newton and co, they all want to try and stay with these two as well. Imre trying to stay right on the tail of Newton too. Very important to stay within that 0.6 of a second window. That's where you get the extra sort of boost in straight line speed. Got somebody into the pit lane. Who is that? That looks like Bruno into the pits. So issues for him or a really early stop, one of the two. Good series of corners for Newton there. Actually closed right back onto the tail of Hoyer, so perfect.
Yeah, could turn into a bit of a frustrating pest here, Newton, if he can try to get involved in this in these street, but he's got to push so hard to try to stick within that kind of 0.6, which we've found is the slipstream range in these cars throughout the season. And he's kind of just a little bit out of it at the moment. But here comes Hoyer. Now he's got a big decision here. Does he fight Hart going into this one? Because he let Hart through quite easily last time, and he does just stay behind for now. So that clearly gives an indication of of what his tactics are here. He just wants to save a bit of fuel and stay behind for now.
Good little battle going on behind, wasn't there, as well, in the back of the shot. I think that was between Morridge and Sorokin, was it? No, Morridge and Morris. And
No,
actually, Morris has come into the pits, and what have we got here as well now? Actually, all sort of fizzled out just as we happened. Because just show you, when someone jumps into the pits, the pit lane window obviously well and truly open at this point. A couple of drivers now in.
Yeah, there isn't. Is there anyone who stands out to you? Maybe who's might be worth pitting a little bit early just to mix up the strategy. Who you feel maybe is a little bit stuck in traffic? It seems as though with the easy of the or how easy the overtaking is around here, there isn't really anyone kind of stuck where they shouldn't be. And I think we should just see everyone just running the fuel tank to the absolute bottom of it.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's what we're going to see. Literally, guys, just trying to run it dry to get the lap time as quick as possible. No point in coming in early. Just looking at the lead battle, it's probably the only place you might think about trying to do something. Maybe just a couple of laps early for Godin if he can get a jump, if he feels like he's being held up here by Kerry. But I think these two are very, very evenly matched. And you look at their lap times, there's really not a lot of difference in them. They're ebbing and flowing all over the place. So I feel like that might be a bit of a rash. Oh dear, that was a bit squeaky bum moment. That was. But yeah, I just feel like if he was to come in now, he's probably just going to lose a little bit of time with the slightly heavier tyre and car, and the fresh tyres really don't gain you anything at all.
Yeah, I think so. And of course, one of the best races so far this season back in Donington wasn't the most action-packed race, but in terms of strategy, it was fascinating. And Godin managed to take on Osterkamp and go one lap further than him in his first stint, and that was decisive. Just got him enough time, and it was a brilliant strategic call. And I wouldn't be surprised if he tries the same out here, because he saved quite a bit of fuel, I imagine, in the slipstream of his rival. So yeah, should be able to go one lap further, and that could be decisive. But if he makes more mistakes like we saw on that last lap, then may not work out too well for him. Hoyt still behind Hearth, and they are slowly catching Kessler. On that last lap, they were 0.3 faster. So it seems like a good call from Hoyt, and I imagine we're going to have a nice little three-way battle between their slot very soon.
All of a sudden, it come down very quickly. The gap there. Don't know if that was an issue for Kessler, but that's come down to 1.5 seconds. Is he preserving a slowdown or something? Because I mean, that gap is visually coming down.
He's lost quite a bit on this lap, hasn't
he? Yeah, big time.
With 0.3 in the second sector, I think. So I think it was probably just a mistake. Maybe he's not confident to do that.
It was 0.6 in that second sector. So that's just crazy, and a further 10th in the third as well. So yeah, we'll see when they come across the start-finish line exactly what the gap is.
Yeah, certainly does seem like a sitting duck, Patrick. And you know, if he's not careful, I think Scott Newton and Evan Imre, who are having good days up there, so too Sarah Dove, could really get involved in maybe fighting Kessler later on. He's, like I said earlier, been so reliable this season, looks strong for that P2 in the championship. But yeah, it's going to have to work for this right now. Christian Takacs, we haven't talked about too much. He's 3.5 seconds up the road. So, you know what, Hearth and Hoyt, if they really get a move on, they could still be fighting for a top 4, I think, by the end of this race. And they're actually only 12 seconds off the lead. It really shows how quick they've been.
Yeah, they're actually lapping as quick as the leaders as well. So they are really, really going for it out there. They dropped that little pack that they had to sort of fight their way through, didn't they? No problem. So, although I think Hoyt with a little issue, dropped him back a little bit, but brings Scott back into contention there. I just shared the live timing link as well for those of you watching on YouTube, just want to get an idea of what's going on there. Give you some bit more information, show you the pit stops, team names, and intervals between the drivers. And of course, for those that are not aware as well, it's all based. No, it's not. I'll shut up on that one. I was going to say it was all based on the driver that's highlighted, but it's actually not anyway, so it's off the leader now.
So still no one from the front pits, as we kind of expected. Rob Plumley did pit on that last lap. But apart from that, been pretty empty. What's happened to Kerry? Has he just dropped a couple of positions? I think Kerry Knowles has got an issue out there. He's just dropped down to 5th position according to my timing screen.
Nope.
No, he's popped back. Okay. Did that happen to yours as well?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, my gaps have now just gone weird, so I don't know what happened to mine, but he is fine, everyone. He's still in the lead, and actually, Phil Reed, he's 2.5 seconds off the slot, less than 4 seconds off the lead. It's difficult to tell what kind of threat he poses, but I think there's a decent chance that maybe Godin isn't getting involved in a fight with the leader, because if they do start fighting for a couple of laps, you know, Reed is going to be right there.
Exactly, and Reed's Kerry's teammate, which we know now, and he won't want those two battling up on him come the end of the race. I thought for a moment Reed was going to chuck it into pits, but you think about Reed, he had that little, he had that off, didn't he? And then that weird slowdown. You think where he would have been without those? He'd be right on them right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that was that was quite a mistake, costly one for him.
Yeah, and he's had to push so hard just to keep this gap. You think Godin every lap, whilst he's within. Now we've got this battle. Imre, is he going past?
I think he's defending from. I think he's defending from Sorokin there as well.
Yes,
but
he got back, hasn't he? Oh gosh, so he was with Nietzsche, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he's just dropped the one spot though, hasn't he, behind Zara? But yeah, on the circuit quite a way. But got a PSR train that he's heading here.
Yeah, it should be quite terrifying for him to see all these green and black cars following right behind him.
It does look like a proper good train with a red a red engine at the front. Coming through.
I think they are about to come through actually, because he's really a sitting duck here, Imre, and straight past. How many will go past? Sorokin will go past. Will March be able to go past as well? He wants to hang on to this one. Can they work as a team? And I think they might be able to, unless he can hang it around the outside. Not really a chance there. Now he's going to have a poor exit, but still side by side. Wide, I think, for March there. And he's coming back as Imre. How has he managed that? What a run from that final corner. And he's some way or another managed to stay ahead. And I'm really confused because all those cars are identical and I have no idea what's going on between them.
Yeah. I think the problem we had there was Morridge really got the very, very poor line after getting in ahead there. Was it Morridge or was it Sorokin's? I think it.
Morridge was the second one too. He got
so it was Sorokin then who got through, and he just ran it in deep, far too deep, and then had a very, very poor line. It really compromised his exit, and that's what's allowed Imre to get that run back on him up the hill and down into
the lead.
Oh wow, where did that happen?
Yep, I think he just went straight down the inside, so had enough. Doesn't feel like following anymore. And I wonder, do you think that's because he's been trying to save fuel, but he realised that it's not going to, there's no point in saving fuel anymore, and he may as well just take the lead and tries to pull away, because he let's say he's got, I don't know, 10.2 laps across the line. There's no point in saving any more fuel because he won't be able to save to like the next lap threshold.
Yeah, that's possible. Or like I say, it's possible he's just settling into a bit of a rhythm. You know, you see that. You know, the drivers, as they just sort of bang in more laps, they just get more comfortable with the car. The balance just comes to him, and you know, he's been able to slowly work his way right underneath the wing of Nolden, and then he's got that one good run where he was able to sort of get in that 0.4 of a second sort of barrier. I think that's where you need to be to actually get a move done, you know, get alongside into the braking zone. If you're outside that 4/10 or above, it's kind of difficult to get the run done. We saw Kerry, he was half a second back and he got to within 2.5 tenths. So you just need to be within that zone, and that's maybe what Godden had that lap, and he thought, well, I'll go for it. I'm here. It's fairly straightforward. Kerry's not defending it too much. Let's lead some that.
All the PSR boys just came in, by the way. It was Sirotkin, Key, and March all came in line stern, and they've all come out line stern as well. So, and Imre's in as well, so that'll be interesting because he could well be right in the middle of those guys because he was very close beforehand. Newton's in as well. I think Connor Ryan just pitted as well, did he? Not quite sure, but Imre's now in as well. So it certainly seems to be the time of the pits, and let's see, maybe will Nolden try to fight back. He may as well have track position on pit entry because, like I said, there's probably not any point in saving any fuel now. They may as well just, you know, have a little bit of track position and, yeah, may as well just go for it now. But at the same time, they need to be protected from Reed.
Yeah, true. Although I don't think Nolden will mind too much. Well, he was certainly inside that 4/10 of a second barrier. You can see he's clearly alongside into the braking zone. Godden not defending the inside. He just needs to make the apex, runs it in a little bit deep just to make sure he gets the line done. It's not coming in this lap, so nothing to worry about there.
He couldn't go into the pits on that lap because he had a flying Fuchs car down the inside, and Godden comes back. They are now 2.5 seconds ahead of Reed, so they've lost a little bit of time, but not too much. Newton came out of the pit in P8, by the way. So, or did he? P9. I think Dove's ahead.
I think you'll find he's way down on that.
Oh, now it's just updated. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
My system.
Seeing it as 15th at the moment. So. Connor Ryan jumped to the pits. That can only mean a potential mistake. So let's see if we can find that on replay for you as well. Ooh, it's going to be into turn 1, is it? Oh yeah, just hammered it into there, and I just slid into the wall, and that will be a suspension-ending crash right there.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be back for race 2. But yeah, not looking good for Conor Ryan because he's going to start from race 2 right at the back. So hopefully it will be a little bit of fun. Nolden back into the lead, and still they don't come into the pit. So Reed is now 2.4 seconds behind, and here comes Godden again. The gap's going to come down even further because Godden really wants that race lead, and they're really just it's gloves off now, isn't it? And it's yeah, they're just not hanging back whatsoever. They just want track position, seemingly.
Yeah, Reed, he needs to get past this back marker ASAP because he's got the gap under 2 seconds. But I feel if he's held up for a half a second, a lot of it will be wasted. So got a good run, gonna get it straight through, and he does. But it cost him about 2-3 tenths anyway. So you know, it's important that it doesn't get held up. I want to see a three-way battle for the lead. I have to say we've got just about 15 minutes to go of this race. It's been quite quiet at the front, but all of a sudden it's heated up. There's a couple of other battles going on. This one is particularly as well. Ringrose involved. I think he's going to come into the pits this time. It looked like a very I'm going to pit exit. No, it's not. I take it back.
That was I've just picked up a slowdown exit, I think.
Yeah, quite
he's lost out to David Butts a lot. Has he pitted? I don't think any of this lot have pitted, have they? So, yeah, they're all fine still. And side by side now. That's Lindstrom and Morich. So, one of the PSR boys. So, I don't know what's happened to the others, but they've all become a little bit better. I think, did Morich stay out? But around the outside he goes. And Lindstrom just has to back down there.
Nolden and Kessler have come into the pits. So this is go time for Godden. He needs to absolutely hammer the next lap in, and as we were watching him as well, Lindstrom comes into the pits too. Phil Reed in Phil Reed has jumped back to the pits. So what's gone on for Reed? This could be race over for Phil. I think this is going to be that big high curb. Oh, gets a massive twitch going through there. And that is, well, see you later. Third place in the championship, I think.
Yeah, terrible for Phil Reed. And yes, whilst Charlie Summers won't be able to overtake him, but Jean-Francois Godin will. Christian Takacs is too far behind. But yeah, really rubbish for him.
That's what it was all about, really, wasn't it? It was Godin and Reed. That was why we were hoping to get Reed up to him so they could battle it out. There were so little points between them on the table. And yeah, now it's easy to do there, I tell you. But what was odd is he seemed to lose it as Hoyer coming into the pits too. He seemed to lose it going into the corner rather than actually on that curb. The exit curb normally gets you, but fortunately, because he was sort of having to correct, and then you have got the curb to play with, there was just car just didn't want to play ball at all, and yeah, just bounced him off and into the wall. No runoff area there at all.
Yeah, one of the most common mistakes I'd say on iRacing. It's one of the most difficult circuits, this, and you really got to kind of push the limits, but a couple of those curbs are absolutely lethal around here. And that was Hoyer coming up behind Newton. So what's happened there for Hoyer?
Not really anything, to be honest. Looking at the stop, it was just a little bit slow, nothing major. But I think Scott's just absolutely been on it since he's come into the pits. Off track for Nolden. We'll have a little look at that in a moment on replay. But Godin coming into the pits. But yeah, Newton's just been absolutely banging in some really, really good, strong laps. And he's come out right on the tail of Kessler. So you know that he's caught up a fair amount because of this. You know, it's been just a great little section for him. He needs to go for it the next few laps and try and stay with Kessler here. So let's have a quick look, see what happened to Nolden then. Got him heading down the sort of like the mini straight.
Oh, it's another one of those curbs. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Oh, that was lucky. That was seriously lucky.
The Godin will be miles in lead, and Nolden's now into the pits. So had he already pitted, Nolden?
He had already pitted.
Oh, he had already pitted.
Yeah, he had already pitted. So, but yeah, so Godin's easily going to have this then when he comes out. So we've got Takacs pretty close to Nolden now as well. So yeah, Christian got a little sight set on. Well, he should be in the podium position, shouldn't he, when everybody's pitted? So, but maybe sight at second place now.
Yeah, he could really be the one who profits from these mistakes from Nolden and also Phil Reed as well.
What was Imrie getting past? Yeah, Lindstrom, sorry.
Yeah, he's now behind two of the PSR cars, so he's behind Sorokin and Moric. Not too far behind though, and then he's got, where's the other PSR driver? Key, he's now pitting, so that'll be interesting to see where Key comes out. He had risen to second place by going further than anyone else. And Newton's actually got past Kessler. So, yeah, you're right. Newton's having an absolutely awesome day out there. Don't want to jinx it because he's had, let's say, a few incidents this season. And hopefully he can just have a clean run through to the finish because he is driving absolutely superbly out there. And here was the move. Quite a far way back here. But it is a big braking zone down here. And Kessler lets him have it. So,
it's got to be a problem for Kessler then, isn't it? Absolutely, it's got to be a problem. Whether it be fuel or something like that, or incidents, I'm not really sure, but yeah, there's a reason he's just pulled over and let him have that one.
There is an instant limit of 15 in this event, so it could be something to do with that, although Kessler's usually really good in that department, and according to our system, he's only on 5, whilst Newton is on 12. Of course, not 100% accurate that, but gives a decent reflection. But yeah, that's a very odd one for Kessler. and down to P6 now. Of course, should still be good enough for second in the championship. And Key came out and stayed ahead of Sorokin. So this could be a nice little battle. And these two don't want to hold each other too much, although they have got their teammate just behind. So a reunited PSR team with Key ahead of Sorokin, ahead of March, and Imre and Lindstrom will be closing in on these two, on these three, sorry.
Yeah, not a lot between them at all, is there, out there? All race meeting, been very, very close. They're still ahead of Imre, so they sort of all jumped Imre in the pit, so that worked quite nicely for them. Right, so everybody has pitted. Our leader has been in as well. So what is the gap? It's 6.15 seconds at the minute. So yeah, that cost him big time, did it, Nolden? So he's not going to get back there. They were too closely matched at pace. No. He just needs to try and hold on to this second place now and not let Takax get into the slipstream zone. Otherwise, he's going to use that just to close back in a bit further.
Yeah, and I hadn't noticed. Johan Hart is right with these guys, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Half. That was quite a gap there. He had to catch up, wasn't he, before that? We've got 7 minutes left of this race, so not very many laps at all. But I feel like Half could get that 1.5 second. What was he last time? The last lap time? Well, there wasn't a lot of difference between the last lap times. So there, 1 minute 18.11 for Nolden, 1 minute 18.19 for Christian, and Johan with a 1 minute 18.13. So yeah, 800ths of a second between all three drivers.
Yeah, certainly close between them lots still. And of course, we've had a few bets along the way, me and Alex, and must say I think Hart is looking pretty good for that second place right now. I wouldn't be off playing a fiver on that, but yes, looking strong out there at the moment. Hart closing in on those two, and Sorokin was right on the tail of Key. He got within, I think, about 1.5 tenths. Just dropped back though in that first sector. It's difficult to follow, but he's now, if anything, out of the slipstream range, and just behind Imre has just got past March. So Imre coming back at these guys. But have you ever been in this situation where you're with your Apex Racing kind of teammates and you're all fighting against this one common enemy? Can you afford to think, can we work as a team here, or do you just have to think as an individual? And that's kind of the best way to do it.
I have been in similar positions, and sometimes it's quite difficult actually, because I mean, right now there's a little bit of gap between them, so they're not absolutely right on top of each other. But the worst is when you literally have no room and you've got drivers ahead and behind you. You're trying to defend. You know that you need to brake a bit later to defend, but you're worried about smashing into the back of your teammate if he just takes a normal line or something like that. And to some extent, it kind of almost makes you more vulnerable to the driver behind. It's quite frustrating because it's kind of when you sound like one of those F1 drivers that, come on, get him out the way, he's slow, you can't help but think that. That's just the way it is. It's just like, come on, you need to go, even if you are using them with a bit of slipstream and that. And you couldn't go any faster even if you were in front, but you just can't help but think it. And it does get a bit frustrating. So I think for now, Sorokin is not too bad. Got a bit of a buffer. It's about 0.7 of a second. But if that gap comes down to about 0.4 of a second, and he's the same distance from his teammate, he is going to be wanting to. If he got to run, he's going to want to go through. That's for sure.
On that last lap, Key did a 18.9, Sorokin 19.1, Imre 18.6, and actually March 18.87. So they're all kind of merging into one, I think. And let's see what this time round will be. And Key 18.72, Sorokin 18.8, and Imre actually 18.8 as well. So failed to really make too much progress there. And with only 3 and a bit minutes to go, it's going to be difficult for Imre to get back ahead of these PSR drivers. So dumb, because having an awesome run out there. I think she got a 4th at Nürburgring, by far her best result of the season, where she was really on for that one. But for the majority of these kind of standard non-endurance races, so I've struggled to get into the top 10s, and actually Montreal, she had a bit of an off week, but around here she seems to really be dialed in.
Fantastic performance. She dropped back quite a bit, didn't she, at the start? Sort of like 9th, 10th place. And then you think people have gone past as well. So she's picked up some places on the way through the pit stops as well. Looking quite comfortable out there right now. We've not got long to go at all, so should be able to hold on to this. Yep, top job. Johan Half, his challenge looks to have calmed right down. He is just inside a second, 0.8 of a second. Oh, what was that? I heard someone sliding all over the shot.
Big
crash.
wow!
That was Nolden.
Oh my goodness! Oh. Well, you know how I said Hart was going to get second.
Yeah, just spins it. And then
wow.
Takacs.
It's so difficult with the crest, isn't it? You just can't see, can you?
No, you can't. Jeez, I'm glad I didn't place a bet on that. That's it. I'd be losing my money again. How do you get this? You guys need to be bribing Sam to be betting on you to win these races, because look at that. I mean, come on. You all thought that was nonsense when he said that. Even I did, but I daren't say anything. Well, got him then. Got absolutely no pressure whatsoever. Now, he's got a minute and a half to go as well. So, got this lap and then one more.
Well, how much damage is Takacs going to have? Was Takacs the one who smashed into?
Hoyer's jumped to the pit.
Sorry, who was that?
Hoyer, he's out as well.
Oh, Hoyer, yeah. So I'm just thinking, Scott, currently in 4th position, could he maybe catch up to Christian?
Everyone's falling off the track. I'm about to show you another replay. I think we've just lost Zara as well.
Oh, dear. We were oh, wow, and that was it.
That was the same incident, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so it's these hills around this circuit, isn't it? Where no chance for Sarah to see that one, and I don't think you can really blame you can't really blame the other driver there, because he was in the middle of the circuit and you can't see him. So he kind of had to get off the circuit whichever way.
Wow. That's all change all of a sudden so quickly. We were praising drivers for good performance, and how often does that happen? So, yeah, Hearth in second, it's Takacs in third. He's doing 1:22 the last lap. Let's see what he does this. We have got one more lap to go. That might open it up to Newton, because Newton's on the main straight with him now as well, to sneak in and get a podium on the the final race of, well, not quite the final race of the season, but final meeting of the season. He's had such rotten luck, deserves a bit of good fortunes, and he goes through.
Wait, so what's on to Hart?
What's gone on with Hart?
So, oh no, Hart, you can't rig this one. Come on, it was a good call. Oh, he should be able to make the move, shouldn't he? Because so much damage on that Takacs car. Newton is on the back of these guys. This is incredible. And it's going to be a three-way battle. Hart has got to try to get the run straight away here. So, into the slipstream. How much straight line speed has Takacs got? Surely he's going to be struggling. And it's Hart just pushing him along here.
Trying to push
what
him
is going on? Because Newton now is going to be right on the tail. It's going to be 3 wide going into the chicane. And Newton's got by far the better run, but he's on the outside. Can Takacs come back against Hart? Newton is up into second place from absolutely nowhere. Godin's gone and won it. And here comes Newton after a season of misery on the whole. He might be able to hang on to a second place here. And what a drive from Scott Newton to take second place. Johan Hart breaks my prediction, and he finishes in third position. Imre has just lost out again to PSR. But he's coming back. And a much better run, and he's going to get. Has he beaten them all? No, he's beaten March.
Yep.
Key and Sorokin got 6th and 7th in the end in that crazy finish. Whoa, Montreal was chaotic. And in many ways, I think that was even more.
Right at the end, oh, Bruno's run out of fuel. Not getting up the hill, mate. There is no way. Unless you've got a little bit of oomph left, you are done.
Come on, mate. Come on.
Oh, I think he's there.
Yes.
It's all downhill now. Don't go to the pit lane.
I think I can actually say this is a rookie mistake. I think this is his first meeting of the season. Or
Is he going to lose a place though? No, Plumley's already finished, hasn't he? So just going to bring it across. Final driver on the lead lap, but yeah, just about gets it there.
nicely done, Bruno. And yeah, he will finish in 14th position, which isn't a bad effort. Had plenty of retirements in that one. And yeah, we can now take you through the finishing orders. And in the end, Jean-Francois Godin wins by nearly 20 seconds, 19.2 seconds ahead of Scott Newton. He started in 12th position, by far his best result of the season. Well done to him out there. Johan Harth finishes in 3rd. We don't really know what happened to him with a lap and a bit to go. He started 23rd, seemingly was destined for an easy 2nd place, ends up just on the lowest step of the podium. Christian Takacs ends up in 4th. He was unlucky. Really deserved a podium at least. Patrick Kessler in 5th position, steady as always. Glenn Key, I think that might be his best result of the season, from 15th on the grid, finishes 6th. That's Alexei Sorokin in 7th, his teammate. Evan Imre was involved in plenty of battles up there, ends up in 8th. And then Lubomir Moch just behind him. Yuri Mojak, really didn't see much of him in 10th. Neither did we see Erkan Lindstrom, Daniel Morris, or Tom Van Humen in 11th, 12th, and 13th. Bruno Dometer just about crossed the line as the last runner on the lead lap in 14th. David Butelar in 15th, and Scott Plumley. Jose Ramirez kept it clean up there, good for him. And Kane Nolden, with that big crash with a couple of laps to go, seemingly was looking for a win potentially, but I'm sure he would have been happy with a 3rd place in the end after that crash. So Dove was the unlucky victim of Manuel Hoyer's spin or 2nd crash in 19th and 20th. Phil Reed, another big driver, he made a mistake coming up the hill. He ends up in 21st, and then it's Conor Ryan 26th. And Alistair Hay finishes 23rd. I'm Keeman 24th, and Marvin Sluman did not take the start. I think we have a wheel, Alex.
No, we don't.
Oh, I made this mistake last week.
Yeah, we don't have a wheel. I don't have a wheel.
Oh, okay, that's disappointing.
Don't worry me like that. You know that.
I think that means that Bruno Dometer is going to be on pole position.
Last of the lead lap.
Last driver on the lead lap. So that crawling across the line was all worth it, Bruno. And he will be on pole position, followed by Tom Van Humen. And a plenty, or pretty much all
before we go,
flying out back.
Before we go, I think I know what's gone on with Half. I think he thought it was flagged the lap before. Yeah, slowed down. Everyone in
Tell
screen
everyone
passed.
what I think, yeah.
Yeah, and then then goes through. So that's the worst possible. He mentioned it on the chat, so I think that's probably what's gone on there. Gutting for him as well, and of course, he just couldn't quite get the run, did he? Newton just got the best run and got them both. So it's amazing. Amazing turn of events there on the last 3 or 4 laps. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, ruined my prediction, so thanks for that, Johan. But we will see you for the second race. Should be up live in about 20 minutes time, so certainly check out that one. It's going to be a good one. See you then.
Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
Welcome back to the final race of the AOR Formula Renault 2.0 series here with Apex Racing TV and myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside Alex Simpson. And we just witnessed a quite a chaotic event. It wasn't chaotic in the end for our race winner, Jean-Francois Godin, who took the victory by 20 seconds. But Alex, behind that, it was pretty crazy.
It was just absolutely manic, that last 3 or 4 laps. Just so much stuff going on. It was almost impossible for us to keep up with it. So, seem to have lost a few drivers for the final race of the season, which is a bit of a shame, say. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. Pole position appears to be Joseph Ringrose at the moment.
Yep, we'll certainly be rooting for our co-commentator there, Jay. On pole position, followed by Robert Plumley, next David Buteler, Bruno Demeter, who just about crossed the line last time, in 4th, next Tom Van Heumen, Daniel Morris, Erka Lindstrom, Jiri Mojak, Lubomir Moric, Evan Imre, Alexei Sorokin, Glenn Key, Christian Takacs, Scott Neaton, Jean-Francois Godin, Cody Nolden, Sarah Dove, Manuel Hoyer, Bill Reed, Conor Ryan, and Johan Hart. And we're about to go here for the final race of the season. It's Joseph Ringrose from the pole position.
Jump start in the background, don't know who that was. I think that might have been Godin, actually.
I really not good for him. He needs the points in the series, but it's a good start for Ringrose, seemingly. And around the outside goes Plumley, perhaps, but he can't quite make it. And Ringrose hangs on. That's Buteler challenging Plumley down into turn 3, and slightly offline there for Buteler, and he might lose out. But side by side now, Moric trying to get up at a position past Lindstrom. But brilliant start for Ringrose, and actually top 4. Oh, and no, Ringrose had an issue. I think a big crash.
Oh, no.
I think that was Joe. So I think that was a commentator's curse after the actual incident happened. But not good for Jay after a really solid first round. He's had a big crash there, and Robert Plumley inherits the lead. Long chain of cars down here, and it's Demeter up 1 position, challenging actually down into the chicane. All a bit crazy down there.
Yeah, no matter where you look, they're pretty much side by side there as well. Oh, it's a breaking little lock up as well.
Oh, Demeter's got past, so Demeter's up into 2nd place now, and charging along, but it's side by side here. Oh, and Bruno's wide, and he's got to try to fend off Morris here. He's going to go through on the grass, I think. Demeter probably did well not to completely shove him out of room, and he's coming back though. Side by side going to this one. It's so awkward, and Demeter's just about got through and hangs on to that 3rd place. So yeah, a bit chaotic, but in the end no one changes position. It's just a snake of cars, isn't it?
Yeah, I was literally just looking at that, just thinking, my word, look at that coming through. It's more that 2nd pack that's just absolutely epic. Sarah Dove trying to move her way forward, was in such a strong position, looking quite confident around here.
Isn't there? I thought I heard something, but
I think we're okay. We're okay.
It's really close between. I think that's 3rd and 4th, but it's pretty close down here as well. Oh right, it's 2 by 2 here. It might even go 3 wide. This is Buteler and Moric and a couple of others. It's hard to keep track of it. And in the end, I think that's Buteler hanging on. And Morris staying in 4th position. Mayak just watching this one. And just behind a little bit side by side as well. But Phil Reed, by the way, is up 8 positions from the lead. He's from the start. He's the big gainer from these first couple of laps.
Yeah, nice. Good to see. He needs that as well. Although I feel like the chance for 3rd place is gone with the win from last race. Godin did have a penalty, so he's right at the very, very back, so he's not going to score any points, potentially. So there's a chance, if Reed can win this one, there's the chance that he could hold on to. I don't know what the points are for the feature race against the sprint. They're a fair bit less, and I don't think he's going to be able to get back at him.
I think if he wins or if he gets second, I think he'll leapfrog frog him. I think he's currently 22 points behind. I think a win is 25 points. Not sure how many is a second, but that's going to be difficult for him. And then Human now going past Demeter. So Demeter, he's driving well out there, but he's just losing out. It's absolute chaos going into this chicane. The fast guys moving through the field. And Sorokin's now at 4th position. He might be up another one, actually, because he's going to try to get past Van Human. Or there's that Van Human just going past him, in fact, actually. And, yeah, Sorokin up into 6th position. Awesome for him. Phil Reed now just behind these guys, up 9 positions now. So he's going to have a chance at a podium, I think, out there, side by side. Who's that? I think that was the orange car of Reed making up another position on Lynch.
Plumley's just checking out at the moment. These guys are going to have to do something, and they're just so far ahead. So they're all battling in that. I mean, we're 5 minutes into this one as well, so give it another couple of laps, and he'll be a third of the way into this, and be in a really, really strong position. And the guys coming through still got a fair amount of overtaking to do, so he's going to build that gap up even more. Yes, got a chance of a win here as Plumley. Reed with a good run. I think he's trying to pick up another place. This will get him into 8th. He has got that done as well. Past Jury. And
look at that behind. That's 4 wide. Oh my goodness. Oh, so somehow no contact. That's Lindstrom losing out again. Lost a few positions on this lap. And Newton making his way up through the field, but he's only up 2 positions so far. And Reed's just got past Ben Human, by the way.
Morris. Oh, he's under some serious pressure right now as well. He's going to hold on to that. There's some good. There's some positions changing as well. Oh, Newton. Oh well, that lasted.
He wasn't going to have 2 good races, 2 clean races, was he?
That didn't last long at all, did it? Sorry, Scott. A man with no luck whatsoever.
Just looking at the timing screen, and of course, if it's really close up there, the gaps is in red. I think there's about 8 consecutive cars just with the red on them. It's so close, and this is the pack we're talking about. Sorokin going past Morris. Maybe these PSR cars looking really good because March is up into 2nd place, and you know what, this could be a PSR win one way or another, and Sorokin is hoping to get onto the back of his team because he's up into 5th position now. Phil Reed will be following just behind. And side by side, that's Demeter and Butzel. So Demeter somehow managed to come back.
Oh,
off the track, can't hang on to it. Did well. He's lost another position though to the PSR car.
Just kept it straight, didn't he? Rather than trying to get it back onto circuit quick. That's kind of when you lose the control of the car. And yeah, didn't lose too much time, but just the one spot. Phil Reed up another. Oh, just about up another one. That could have been.
It's going to be side by side behind our car off onto the grass.
Is that Van Human, I think?
Yeah, he tried to get through, and maybe wasn't the wise decision because it's so difficult to go too wide there, and he's still too wide, and he's lost out about 3 positions there as Van Human after making up a few beforehand. It's now a PSR 2 and 4 actually. I think Keys down in 9th, hasn't quite made the progress. But Plumley's only got 3 seconds in hand now and lost lost a little bit of time that last lap. So that's going to be an interesting one for the lead.
Yeah, well, I think now that well, I was going to say now that Morris was in was in 2nd, but he's just lost that place. So I think
here comes
yeah, up the inside. And see, the trouble is they're just holding each other up now again. So, and they've got Reed right there too.
Down the inside.
Reed's got the run on at least a couple of them, I think. That throws it up the inside, does indeed get 2. That's very nice from Phil Reed. Trying to recover. He's up and into 3rd place. 8 minutes and 30 seconds in about. Come on, clock. Quick tick forward now. And
Oh, he's
Yeah.
got loads of time to do this one, hasn't he?
He has indeed. Yeah, it's only 2.5 seconds to Rob. So I feel like he closed that down. He needed these guys to bow just a little bit more, but they kind of just opened the door for him.
Well, it's quite incredible from Reed because he started from 19th, and that was, you know, behind Nolden, behind Takax, and a couple of the really quick guys behind Johan Harth as well. And yet those guys are still outside the top 10. He's about to go into second place here. Here comes Phil Reed. Dominic's not going to battle him too much. Already dropped the PSR drivers just behind, so I don't know if they've got some kind of issue because they're all of a sudden struggling for pace. And Phil Reed can see another victory coming for him. He's already got, as I look at my spreadsheet, he's only got one victory this season actually, so this would be a good addition to Con.
It's a bit manic around here as well. Dove, Human, Imre, Nolden as well, just behind. Hoyer leading this little group. Dove to the outside, and Human trying to hold it on the inside. They almost touch as well. Not the momentum. I think Tommy, he's got some wing damage, hasn't he, which is really hurting his straight line speed, and that's why he's dropping back now. Godin puts the fastest lap of the race in 19th. He's got 9 seconds to catch up, I believe, on the car ahead. No, maybe not. That's about 3 seconds. So he might even be able to scrabble into some points, and if he can do that, even if Reed, who is half a second behind our leader now, can win this one, I think it might make it impossible for him to actually get into third place in the championship.
I hope Rob fights this one because Bruno has kind of gone with these couple. And he's going to have a brilliant run out here. Here comes Phil Reed for the race victory. Can Plumley hold him off? He's going to struggle. Will he take the apex? So he does. Oh, I just had to get out of it a little bit there, did Reed. Not sure if he's best pleased with that one, but still has to sit in behind. He's got plenty of time to make this one stick. Got 14 minutes to go on this race. Looks each way. Dimitz's right with these guys now. Oh, and it's just a case of we can't afford to get involved in a collision because on pace he's easily got this race victory, hasn't he? Just the only thing which can deny him is some contact.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time, and I think he would be sensible just to wait until this back straight, really nail the apex off of this corner and make sure he gets the better run. So, don't hit him, that's for sure.
Now the PSR boys are getting involved in this one as well. Moritz and Sirotkin, and Morris isn't too far behind either. So, round 2, much closer this time is Reed, and Dimitri will be close as well. Reed maybe looks to the inside, not too much defence put up by Plumley. I think he realises the inevitable. Now can Bruno get through as well? He looks to the inside. Can he get the run? Can Dimitri? But round the outside he chooses to go rather than the cutback. Not sure if that was the wise decision, because they're both sitting ducks now to Lubomir March just behind. He perhaps didn't quite get the run he wanted because he wants to be on the inside really right now, but he's been forced to the outside and couldn't really do anything with that move. Still going on between second place. And Plumley trying to hang on. Oh, it might be 3 wide going into turn 3, and how is there not contact there between Bruno and Robert? But Dimitri manages to get through up into P2, and this one's not over yet.
No, I feel like that this little battle for the podium is going to continue. We're halfway through the race as well. A bit of a rough line for Rob there as well. Compromised his exit somewhat. It's under pressure now around the outside. Goes Marge. It's Plumley trying to make it extremely difficult. Every time they go side by side like that, you just look at the time they lose to the car ahead. Dimitri now 1.2 seconds up, and you've got Sirotkin there as well. Morris coming in on the scene. Yeah. It's a shame. Just one real bad lap for Plumley. He tried to go around the outside a lap ago to hold the lead. It just compromised him so much, and you know what it's like. The floodgates can open, can't it? And all of a sudden, you're really struggling to keep on line. He was looking so good just a moment ago.
Yeah.
the floodgates might open for Norwich because got a poor run in the end. Sorokin, his teammate, couldn't really do too much about it. Plumley holds onto that P3 at the moment. It's going to be fascinating to see who else can get involved in this, but I'm surprised there's just not a queue of cars behind already, but I think there might be soon because Morris is going to get involved. Sorry, Morris is already involved, and Takax will be there. Key as well, the other PSR car. Still lying astern. Plumley defending again. He likes to defend down here. And last time it didn't work for much to go around the outside. He might try it again though. Now he just slots in behind. Trying to get the cut back. He's got his teammate just behind Sorokin, and they're not really helping each other currently. And again, Plumley, I think they're getting into a bit of a rhythm here where Plumley just knows where to put his car.
Yeah, although I would have said defend the inside here a little bit earlier. Not done that. Although he's got a better run though. He's got good straight line speed, has Rob. Although late move. Gonna try and defend it around the outside. He got that. That's what he tried to do when defending the lead. It just didn't quite work. Reed took us so much speed in.
And already Takax is onto the back of these guys and go past Morrison down the inside now. Goes Morich. He's found a space on the inside of Robert Plumley. And I think he's got it now, but it's still side by side. Can Plumley hang on to this one? He's going to have to go all the way around the outside here. It's such a difficult one. And he just has to back down in the end. Takax, I think it's only a matter of time till he gets all of these guys.
Yeah, I think you're probably right here. Takax very, very quick. Having a little look, having a jink, just making sure people know that he's coming. And yeah, they're going to have to get ready. I think get a good run, although he's not as close as he perhaps wants to be here. It looks more like it's going to be Sorokin going to try and shape up Plumley this time.
Well, this will be interesting because just wait to see the leading PSR driver give his teammate a slipstream. Maybe he won't. Maybe he's not going to help out, and it's going to leave them vulnerable now because Robert Plumley, seemingly with a lot of straight line speed, just goes past, and Sorokin gets past as well and into the back. It was always going to happen.
That was
Sorokin.
Rubbish. Completely missed these braking marker at all there. So yeah, not good. Lots of position changes all going on. And Dove and Half? Is it Half?
Half, yep. Going through the middle. 3 wide going to the final corner. Oh, I'm not sure if Half knows it's there. Sorts it out.
Godin's in there as well. So he's up to 11th now, which I believe is in the points, is it not, for the
I think it's one. Yeah, I think it's top 12. That should be enough. Well, might be enough.
Well, I think he's going to need a few more points here. So he's not too far behind Lindstrom and Key, to be fair. There's still 10 minutes near enough to go. So that might be enough to get it, to hold on to it. Of course, he was behind Reed going into this one.
Wow, how has Reed not pulled away from Dometer? Dometer's been, I've been super impressed by him. I thought Reed would just be off into the distance, but on that last lap, Dometer actually gained by 9/10 of a second, so clearly a mistake. Morich is still really close to Takax, I believe. And yeah, those two are still really close. I think Morich might be coming back at Takax actually, only a 10th between those two.
Yeah, just a slow lap, although it's still a 19 for Reed that lap as well, so not quite got the sort of like the 18s that he had in the last race. I don't know if he's picked up a damage off some curbs or something somewhere that might have just slowed him down a little bit.
Well, it means that his charge maybe for third place in the championship, so it might be coming to an end. Not going to be able to catch up to Kessler, of course. But yeah, hoping for that third position in the championship, but it's not looking good for him at the moment. And if anything, Takax will be only 6 seconds off the lead and lapping a second a lap faster, I think, in clear air. He's going to be fancying his chances.
Oh, I think that's probably a bit too much, if I'm honest.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, your little flutter last time didn't work out, that's for sure. Got in under a second now from Lindstrom, so that's coming down quickly. It's already another 2/10 just gone through the chicane.
I think P9 would confirm it for Godin. I think that'd be at least 3 points, and he's 22 ahead. And if I think I know the scoring system, I think the win is worth 25 points. So maybe needs 8 to absolutely confirm it. But this would go some way for him. And Glenn Key will be very vulnerable just ahead as well. Hoyer's actually gone through the field, hasn't he? He's started in P18. I don't think we've talked about him whatsoever, but he's now up into P5, and actually is not too far behind Daniel Morris now. So that could be one to watch. And he's only 2.8 seconds behind Takacs as well, and on that last lap was a 10th quicker. So could potentially be some kind of way back for Hoyer, maybe to get onto the podium. Perhaps clear Morris very quickly though.
Yeah, second most moving driver of the race so far, up 13 spots. So yeah, Reed 18, Takacs 10, and yeah, that's those that are in double figures. Conor Ryan up 9, he's doing well. Obviously he had his issue. I think we've just lost Morrid, haven't we, as well? Some issue for him.
Morris didn't. No, it was Sorokin who went into the back of Reed, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So,
I just have to show this on replay. So happened to here.
Ooh,
oh, he just over the
cabs.
blind corner. Yeah, easy done.
It's just it's such a difficult. It's just a minefield out there. There's so many corners where just one mistake from the walls, and that was the case there certainly. Hoyer's really close now to Morris, so that's down to 0.3 of a second. Here he comes. So will Morris fight this one? Is it in his best interest? He does, and to the outside now goes Hoyer, and in fact he wasn't fighting it all along, Daniel Morris, and he just hit the brakes nice and early, and Hoyer can carry on his progress. Reed is back on check, by the way. He's back into the lower 18, so
Yeah, I don't
had a
know.
couple of 4 laps, didn't he?
But yeah, and back up to 2.1 seconds clear. Yeah, so I don't know what that was quite about all of a sudden. But yeah, I think should be good now. Hoyer and Takacs, very, very similar lap times. Nothing going on there. We might have just lost Bootslar. No, he's into the pit lane. Oh, but he's got massive damage, so that explains that one. Yeah, Godin 9th. He's 0.6 of a second behind Key. 3 minutes to go. You feel like he's going to get that one, but I think that's probably it. It's going to be one. It's going to be a bit too much of a tall order, I think, to get to Evan Imre, who is sat in 7th place, a further 3 seconds up the road from him at the moment.
Yeah, seemingly Golan doesn't really have too much to fight for. We think that this 8th position would confirm. I'm probably completely wrong on the scoring, by the way. It's probably like a win is 20 points, and it's mathematically impossible for Reed to bring it back. But we'll wait and see, and hopefully we can sort it out post-race. Here comes Godin then. A little bit of a defence put up by Key. He's had a little bit of a disappointing race, this one. I think he got a 6th in the first race, showed really good pace. It looks like he's going to struggle to get a top 9 here as Godin right into the toe. He tries to cover him off there, just Key, but Godin was already on the inside and should be nice and simple. Oh, way wide for Key. A little bit onto the curb, and that's P8 and should be 3rd in the championship for Godin.
Yep, nicely done. Kind of deserves it after the performance in the first race, because he was by far the sort of standout driver of the two. But I have to say, Reed's given it his everything. Had he just not had the mistake, it would have obviously gone to Reed though. So It's yeah, a bit unfortunate just how just that little clip of the curb, wasn't it, that did it? Well, we got this one and one more. Yeah, one more. I don't think we're going to get another one in, are we? Close.
No.
Where is? Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
So 1 minute and 10 seconds to go as Reed comes across. So this will be the final lap of the season then.
Yeah, it's been been a good old season. This we didn't cover the first round at Interlagos, but we've covered all of them since then. And of course, it's been super competitive. Plenty of different race winners. I think that's a lot due to the format, the reverse grid. That this short to 25-minute race really giving lots of drivers opportunities, including Phil Reed. I think this will be his second sprint race victory of the season. But yeah, it certainly has been a fantastic championship. And it's not all over yet because Daniel Morris is still pretty close to Manuel Hoyer. I thought Hoyer would be able to pull away quite easily now that he's up into P4. But we might just have a little bit of a better down into the chicane this time round. Hoyer's not too far behind. Christian Takak's only 1.7 seconds behind, but he's not close enough. And Morris now will get into the slipstream. Not really many other battles going on. Gordon might get Plumley, but that's about it out there. And let's see if Morris can end this season on a high, going into the final few corners now.
Too far back.
We'll wait and see. No,
too
not quite.
far.
But out in the lead, Phil Reed is going to take his second race victory of the season, and he does so in style from 19th on the grid. Godin has just got past. Plumley's had an issue. Plumley's dropped down to P10, so I don't know if there was contact, but it seems as though Godin's going to confirm that third place in the championship after a win earlier on, and here it was. So Plumley on the inside, Godin outside.
Netcode.
Oh, was it?
Afraid to say it was a bit of netcode. Yeah, Rob sort of covers quickly, but yeah, there was about a half a foot between them, and just got knocked off. That's unfortunate. It was a good race up until then for Rob as well.
Yeah, because he got smashed into the back of earlier on in the event, I think. So, pretty good effort to come home in 10th, but he'll feel that maybe a top 5 even was on the cards. Really impressive performance there from Will Plumley, along with many other drivers. And have all the cars finished?
They have.
Good. So we can take you through the final standings, and Phil Reed takes the race victory from 19th on the grid. Awesome drive from him. Bruno Domitzer, awesome from him. Hasn't done too many races this season. I think this is his first of the season. Starting in P4, got a decent start, then started falling back, and then responded really well and was only 2.5 seconds off his maiden race victory in second. Then it's Christian Takak's good drive through the field from 13th to 3rd. Manuel Hoyer, 18th to 4th. Then it's Daniel Morris, good drive from him. Evan Imre, 6th, more points for him. He's had a really strong second half of the season. So too has Jean-Francois Godin, 7th place. We think confirming that 3rd place in the championship. Glenn Key finishes in 8th, and then it's Erkan Lindstrom. Robert Plumley was unlucky. Connor Ryan from 20th to 11th. Jerry Mojak in 12th, and it's Sarah Dove had issues. Tom Van Humen, David Butzler, Lubomir Maric, 6 laps down. Alexei Sorokin, Johan Hart was involved in a collision. I don't think we saw that one. So too was Kane Nolden. Scott Newton crashed in the first few laps. And Joe Ringways from pole position led up the hill. And that was pretty much his race done. Spun at the exit. And hopefully we'll see him back for next season. If not, in the commentary booth.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed the season, Sam. Good racing all around. I mean, the last 4 or 5 races of the season have been absolutely sort of on the edge of the seat stuff. So more of that for next season. We're not really sure what's going on next season. Whether we'll be back in the same car, we kind of hope we will. Of course, we hope we'll be back in the booth as well. But yeah, maybe a change is afoot. Apparently, they've been in this car for quite some time now. So hopefully there'll be some plans released soon, and we'll find out what's going on. But we've got a few people that might want to have a quick chat with us before we head off. We've got Joe, Scott, and Tom. Should we just drag them all in and talk to them, and we'll go from there?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Sorry, guys, can't to gate crash your conversation there.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's all right.
We thought we'd drag you all in at the same time, and we'll start with you, if it's okay, Tom. Tom, you were happy at the end of the first race. You had clocked up some good points, I believe, 13th for yourself, so a good result. You seem chuffed with that.
Yeah, P13 for me in the future race is a good result. I didn't expect it because I'm not really good at Road Atlanta, and sprint race I was starting P5, but I needed to avoid David, which caused me going into the grass in that chicane section, just damaged my front wing. And after that, Connor got caught up with Kerry, and I couldn't know where to go, so I just ran into Kerry, so that totally wrecked my car. To get the car home, both races, and got points in both races, so that, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Nice. I did see you were struggling with the front wing. It kind of put you under a bit of pressure for a few laps, and we didn't actually catch the crash. So yeah, sorry about that. But good final round of the meeting. How's the season been for you? You happy with that?
Happy with the season because I got like 60 points this season, and last season I got 17 points, so that's like the double for me. The main thing was to get consistency, and I finished the race, and that's what I've done this season. I got some DNFs, but not that much as last season. Last season I got like 10 DNFs each Friday, so that and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll cycle back to you in a moment, but we'll jump over to Scott, and I believe Sam's with him.
Yeah, well done, Scott, for that first race. Finally, a bit of luck went your way, and kind of everything just fell into place for you. The seeds parted, and you were very happy to take home that second position in race one.
Yeah, hey Sam. Yeah, definitely. In qualifying, probably wasn't the best performance. Putting in a banker on lap number 1, but finding the turn 3 off track both times in lap 2 and 3. So probably wasn't the best qualifying for me, but managed to make up a few positions early on. Thankfully, into turn 10. That was pretty much the main overtaking place, I think, for everyone. But just once the pit stop happened, just wanted to get out of the traffic and try and put in some decent laps, and luckily come out just behind Kessler. And I'm not sure whether he had damage, but he was quite a bit slower than I was, so I was luckily able to get past him. And then on the final lap, I think Christian might have had a bit of a spin or something like that cost him time, and that allowed myself and Johan to close up. And I thought that Johan was going to go through on Christian into the final chicane, but I managed to get them both. And I'll take what I can get after the season. I've had Jet and netcode and all that sort of thing, so...
Yeah, definitely. And unfortunately, you were sent back down to earth for the second race. I think we saw the issue, but just take us through that collision that you had.
Just running a bit of a train. I think Urka and possibly Manuel and Takash was behind me. But going through turn 3, I had a bit of a gap to Urka in front of me. He half spun it on the curb in front. Went to go up, try and go around the outside of turn 4, but he merged wide, and then just typical netcode put me out. So unfortunate that that had to happen, but I think the season overall was pretty strong for myself. Points PB over the season, so pretty happy with that.
Yeah, certainly a good effort out there. And of course, next season, have you got any aims necessarily? Let's say if we keep this same format, for example, do you think do you have any points tally that you're particularly aiming for?
Overall, beat the previous season, so I think 157 I gained this season, so I'll try and target 160 plus, and then try and get the T2 championship if I haven't got it, because I don't know whether drops have been counted in that sort of championship yet. I know that I was third coming into the sprint race, so We'll have to find out from the admins the situation on that, but yeah, can't confirm anything on that front yet.
No, okay, and yeah, I think Alex is Joe Ringrace.
Yeah, Joe. Hello, mate. Tell us a little bit about your evening tonight. I mean, the second race definitely didn't go as you planned, but let's talk about the first one first. I mean, how did that go from your side?
Well, I hadn't had much practice coming into the event. I kind of got addicted to the IndyCar around Watkins Glen this week, but I knew the pace wasn't going to be there. Just sort of struggled to get with the car. Used back to the car over the past couple of days was probably a lesson to learn for next season. Yeah, just sort of struggled with pace generally, and I managed to finish P17. Only got one instant point, so that's an extra point to go on the board. So yeah, just sort of kept out of the barriers in race one and just won over other people's mistakes, I guess.
And the race two, of course.
Yeah.
The curb got you and you got sent into orbit. You were flipping and all sorts.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good start in that race. I wasn't really expecting to be pole, and then found out I was pole. I was like, oh God, what's going to happen? I haven't started on pole in one of these races before this season. So it's a bit going into the unknown because I knew pretty much everyone behind me was faster. So I just, acted calm. It's just a normal race. Got through the first four corners all fine. Had a good start. Let David and Robert battle away. Got a 1 second lead, and then turn 5 just didn't seem to like me. Got it right all day today. I haven't spun there once, and the one time where it mattered sent me into the wall, and I kind of, as you said, went into orbit.
I mean, you're not alone at doing first lap crashing out from the lead, trust me. So I did the same thing myself just yesterday as well. So I know how gutting it feels. So and caught on camera for everyone to see as well. What were?
You could have seen the impact for me, so it could have been worse.
Right. Just give us a shout out to everybody that matters and sponsors, league, admins, all that sort of stuff. And and then we'll pass the mic down the line and get everyone else.
Yeah. I'd just like to say thank you to the team, obviously. Great job throughout the whole season. By Tom, David, Jordan, Marcel, Alistair, all done a great job this season. And to the sponsors Next Gen and Boss Boxes, and obviously Apex Online Racing for holding the league. They do a fantastic job every season. Hopefully we continue that with next season. So yeah, cheers, Alex.
Yeah, awesome. Tom, for yourself as well, who makes it happen for you?
The team, of course. Thanks to Joseph for letting me in the team this season, and getting myself confidence in. And I'm really happy with the team. So I will be very happy to race next season. And I'm really excited for next season. So
yeah, awesome. And last but not least, Scott.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank sponsors of Apex Racing UK, Leo Bodner, Sim Steering, JSL Sim Racing, Computers PC Systems. Also to all the admins and all of the drivers over at Apex Online Racing for making it all happen and coming out and racing each week. It's always good to turn up and put on a good show. And the real work's going to be starting in the off season. Just trying to get everything ready for the next season. And also, if there is anyone that is out there watching and you want to get involved, head over to apexonlineracing.com and look out for the sign-up thread that will be up in the next week or so.
Awesome stuff. Thanks very much, guys. You have a good weekend and a little off season, and hopefully we'll catch you all ready for round number 1 where we do it all again.
thanks, cheers, Alex. Thanks.
Yep, cheers, guys.
Cheers, fellas.
See, a few more people did come in. Did you want to have a quick 2-minute chat with some of them, Sam?
Yeah, if we can get Phil Reed in here, it'd be great to speak to our race 2
victor, and well done, Phil, out there. That was an awesome drive, 19th to 1st. And I kind of have no idea what you're aiming for going into that race, Phil, but was it the race victory?
Well, I'm always aiming for the race victory, but this is realistically, I saw some of the people up the field and I was thinking, okay, maybe top 3, definitely top 5, but yeah, as soon as I started making my way up the field, then it was getting quite quickly and everyone was slowed down behind some of the people not able to pass them. I was just able to pick people off, and all of a sudden I found myself in second and a couple of seconds behind Robert, and I was like, okay, here we go then. I got this.
Yeah, you certainly did. And just looking at your results at the end of this season, you had second, third, then that DNF earlier on, and then a first. That's a really good run of form. And you must be thinking going into next season, you got to be thinking maybe about the potential title.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on who signs up again, I suppose. I would love to fight for it again, as I've done in the past. I finished top 2, top 3 in a lot of seasons, so yeah, why not? Why not? Keep it going.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, that race 1 spin was a little bit frustrating for you, but it's just one of those around Road Atlanta where you hit a curb 10 times, and then on the 11th it bites you, and I think that was what happened to you.
Yeah, I think it's because I caught a little bit too much of the inside curb, more than I was doing for the rest of the race, and it just unsettled the car slightly. And it just happened that when I started to catch the slide, I just about caught the curb at the same time on the outside, and that overcorrected the car and just sent me straight into the wall with nothing to do. So it's a bit of a shame because I was looking pretty good for a top 3, and I'd have been slightly higher up on the in the second race as well. So would have made my second race a little bit easier anyway.
Yeah, potentially, and we'll come back to you later on. But Connor, well done out there for that second race, rising through the field. And yeah, you must be pretty happy with that second race result.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I was just aiming to finish, to be honest. Finding it really tricky, Road Atlanta. Never driven it before and had no practice. So, yeah, I'm just happy to finish and actually got some points.
Yeah, and I can't remember what quite happened to you in the first race, but
it's been
that one.
Yeah, in the wall.
It happened to a lot of people, so you're not alone.
Yeah, that's true. Just mocked up turn 1 and went straight on.
Yeah, and of course, overall this season, do you think you've made any kind of improvements? Have you enjoyed kind of taking part throughout this season?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it this season. I feel like there has been a pace improvement there, but results-wise, it doesn't really show it. I missed a few rounds and kind of had must have been 4 DNFs in a row or something at one point. So, yeah, hopefully next season will be better.
Yeah, definitely. And Evan, we wanting to talk to you a little bit in the past few weeks, because your run of form recently has been awesome. Like the amount of top 10s you've had. Kind of what's been the difference? Because earlier on in the season you were struggling for top 10s. Now you're kind of aiming for kind of consistent top 6s, top 7s.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but well, I mean, I've just taken advantage of all the crashes. Really, I've not driven very well the past couple of seasons, so today's sprint race was my best result in a very long time, getting 6th place. But I mean, there wasn't very many cars out there. But overall, tonight, Road Atlanta supposed to be my favourite track, but I didn't have a very good first race, and then recovered somehow. Finally finished 8th, but that's again avoiding crashes, and then 6th place. That was a fluke as well. So I'm not as good as the table suggests. But I've had my heyday. I did finish 8th one season in the standings, but yeah, tier 2. I've got a tier 2 title, but we've got to congratulate Sarah today, actually winning the tier 2 title, which I don't think has been covered as much as it was in the first couple of seasons. But Sarah managed to secure the title today, so congrats to her.
Yeah, sorry for not talking about that too much. It can be focusing on the overall championship. But yeah, over to you, Sarah. And another good points in that race. Really good qualifying, and you were running strong in that first race, but in the end, you're super unlucky just going over the crest. Had no chance of avoiding that stationary car.
Yeah, I don't know, like, the spotter said go left, and then I went left, and Manuel was sort of driving to the left because he moved into the track, so there wasn't really anything that could be done.
Yeah, so super unlucky. And you're also involved in a couple of collisions, kind of making your way through the field in that second race. Yeah, what was that? Was that good fun in that second race, battling plenty of other drivers?
Yeah, it was. I was a bit optimistic with some of them, I think, but unfortunately there was just a little bit of netcode with Jerry that sent my car into a barrel roll. So from there on, my car was just dead, but somehow I managed to just keep going.
Yeah, and of course you're another driver who've kind of, I'd say at least, improved quite a lot through the season with your good result at Nürburgring as well. Kind of any early aims for next season, you think, or will it just kind of be backing up that title that you've confirmed today?
More top tens in the future, because I was on my way to sixth, I think it would have been, without that crash, but just hope to get some more of them, because this has been my best season in like the history of the league ever. So
Can I ask a question, Sarah? What happens now that you've won that title? Do you have to go up into the top tier, or are you able to try and defend your title next season?
I have to go up into tier 1, but then if I'm not good enough in tier 1, I'll get put back down again.
Okay.
Yeah, and before we let you all go, first off, Sarah, who would you like to thank anyone?
Just AOR, everyone, you guys for broadcasting, just like everyone that set it up. I don't really have any like sponsors or anything, but just thanks for the league.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah, and Phil. Anyone you'd like to thank?
Well, once again, like to thank the very kind sponsors at Hype and Elgato, and I'd like to thank everyone for taking part in the season. It's been a pretty good one. I think I got started off a little bit worried that we might not get the season underway with a decent amount of people, but a lot of people turned up in the end, so I'm grateful for that. So yeah, just thanks for everyone taking part.
Yeah, and Evan, is there anyone you'd like to thank as well?
No, pretty similar. Just my teammates and Team AOR, which is our first season in this league, and of course the sponsors Hyper Energy and Elgato.
And finally, Connor.
I'd like to thank AOR for setting up the season. It's been great. Thank you to you guys for the broadcast as well. And thank you to Radicals Online for the help this season.
Yeah, thanks everyone. And yeah, hope to see you next season.
Cheers.
Thank you.
So Alex, I guess we better wrap up the season. It's been a good season, this, hasn't it? I'd certainly say, kind of the consistency in the drivers. There's been a lot of committed drivers to this series. I've kind of seen a constant kind of 25 car engine. It's just been great to kind of learn all these drivers. I feel like we've both kind of seen them kind of go through the highs and lows of the series.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a great season. I think, next season will be a lot of fun. Like you say, we'll have a bit of history, so that's always good to look back on as well. I'll bring up that sort of information. It's always, a worry when you come into a series and you're broadcasting it for the first time. You don't kind of have that sort of background on the drivers and things like that you might have done, for someone who's been doing it 2 or 3 seasons. So, but it has been a lot of fun. And we always like a little bit of feedback as well. So I'll take that bit about the the second tier championship. And we'll make sure we try and give that a bit more cover. I believe we can actually bring up that data on the overlay as well. So I might just have to liaise with the league a little bit more to try and emphasise that a bit more on the on the overlay who is in which particular class, so we can sort of show that a bit. So that should be fun. But yeah, it's all around. It's been an enjoyable season, and I think big shout out to Rennie. He's not here tonight, but what a dominant performance from him. Kessler as well had such a real good, consistent performance in second place in the championship, so he needs a big kudos to there. And then we have like this little battle for the end of the season between Godden, Reed, and Summers. I mean, that's fantastic. All of them were on form as well, which made it really exciting. And Godden just about got that at the end with a good show. That 7th place drive after having the jump start was really deserving of that 3rd place. And then I have got the points in front of me as well. So obviously Dove, then Newton and Imre were 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the tier 2. So be interesting to see how they do as far as like the promotions go, and sort of competing in the main series as well. Should be a lot of fun next season. I do hope they come back in this car. I do like the Renault. I think it makes for a really, really good racing. Of course, I know that they've been in the Star Mazda in the past as well, so I don't know if there's any murmurings about sort of jumping back in that car. You never know, there could be, but I think there's still quite a following on this car, so hopefully that's where they'll stick.
Yeah, hopefully, because the racing so far or throughout this season, so it has been fantastic. Just looking at the race victories that Osterkamp has got, because we've talked about how dominant he's been. 20 rounds this season, and he's won 5 of them. So it's not up to domination, is it? And it just shows how competitive this league has been, and how every race has been has had good competition.
We have had good variety of winners, and I think that the layout, the structure of the races helped that, with the long feature race at the start and then the sprint race at the second with the reverse, how it is, it kind of opens it up. And I think Osterkamp, although like you say, he didn't win that many really, it was just those consistent top 5s and a string of sort of second places that he also got where he didn't win. So and you compare that to sort of Kessler. I mean, at the start of the season, Kessler was on the back foot because obviously his first couple of rounds were not what he wanted. But then he had a great string of results as well. Okayama, 1st and 4th, and then we had like Silverstone, he was 3rd, and then I think it was Suzuka was it 2nd. So, but yeah, then just had a couple of weak races where he was sort of in the teens, and that's kind of where his championship come undone. And his teammate really sort of flew. So, he can just nail those ones down. He could well challenge his teammate next season, though.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of other drivers, like Jean-Francois Godin, for example. He was just storming at the end of the season. Had a 1st, 3rd, 2nd, 4th, 3rd, 1st, and a 7th to finish off the season. So he was in great form. So to Charlie Summers at times, if he can improve on his consistency a little bit, he could fight for the championship, and so to Phil Reed. So we hopefully we hope to be back next season, of course, covering the Formula Renault once again. But whatever car it will be good to cover. And hope to see you all again for next season of the AOR racing leagues. And certainly keep tuned on their YouTube channel along with our YouTube channel, Apex Racing TV. Certainly hit the subscribe button for that. But at least for the end of this season, we will bid you goodbye, and hope to see you next season.